With a new government in place, proposing an employment rights bill, it's easy to assume that the situation is improving for migrant workers. But without plans to address the restrictive visas thousands upon thousands of workers are on, the situation in reality looks as grim as ever. The problem is that the way these visas work is to lock out holders from accessing rights. They streamline workers towards unaddressed, rampant exploitation. Let's look at how. Take Yasmina. Yasmina was recruited overseas from Uzbekistan to come to the UK on a seasonal work visa. This gives her 6 months in the UK so that she can come work on a farm. This type of visa requires a sponsor, in the form of scheme operators. Scheme operators require a special license to be able to sponsor these visas. The company that recruited her doesn't help with her travel or visa fees, so Yasmina takes out a loan to cover them, confident that the money she makes will cover it. After all, she's been told the wages are good. On arrival in the UK, the reality of the work is very different to what was promised. Yasmina's wages are not as good as she was led to believe when she took out a loan. Her employer is giving her a lot less work hours than she was promised when she signed up. She's spending a lot of time in the accommodation set aside for workers. It's a caravan she's sharing with 5 other workers, 2 per bedroom. They all pay rent straight back to their employer. They've been complaining about mold for months, but the employer keeps ignoring them. On the job, her conditions are rough, with health and safety standards well below minimum standard. The employers push her and her colleagues to work unreasonably fast, threatening to let her go if she can't meet the high targets they set her. Some of her colleagues have already been fired. Sometimes, Yasmina experiences sexist remarks from her manager. Yasmina's employer is clearly exploiting her, but what can she do? If she tries to complain to her boss, she risks her employer firing her. And if she is left without work, or seen as trouble, her visa might be revoked by the scheme operator who recruited her and sponsored her visa. That leaves her at risk of deportation, in a worse financial situation than when she tried to get this job in the first place. So, what would help? Allowing for longer visas would give workers a longer period of earning in the UK, reducing the risks that migrant workers take to keep their jobs, and provide a bigger opportunity to push for improved working conditions. Another way to help is to make sure visas are protected even if enforcement action is taken against scheme operators. If they lose their license by supplying migrant workers to employers who mistreat them, workers shouldn't pay the price, they should be helped to find new, better work. As well as this, labour market enforcement agencies should not engage in joint or simultaneous inspections with immigration enforcement, or report workers' migration status to the Home Office. This would help labour rights enforcers build trust, enabling them to do their primary jobs of protecting working standards for workers. They should have powers to stop employers cancelling visas and to support workers into other safe and legal jobs. All this would help, and the Employment Rights Bill going through Parliament is the perfect opportunity. Whilst this bill intends to increase rights for UK workers, by ignoring the thousands of workers most at risk of exploitation, the inequality gap will actually be widened. We already have a 2-tier workforce in Britain. Now is the time to turn that around.